everyone, Miss J and Pips here, ready to do part one of our literacy session. So we're going to read a story first, and then part two will be a follow-up where we will be writing a letter together, okay? So the title of our story today is The Way Back Home, and the author is Oliver Jeffers, one of my favourite authors. The blurb on the back says, "Once there was a boy who, one day, found himself stuck on the moon, and he was not alone. ... Let's start the story and see what happens. Once there was a boy. And one day, as he was putting his things back in the cupboard, he found an aeroplane. He didn't remember leaving it there, but he thought he'd take it out for a go right away. Sounds exciting. The plane lifted off the ground and up into the sky, higher and higher and higher. Suddenly, the plane spluttered, going put, put, put. It had run out of petrol. Oh no. Now the boy was stuck on the moon. What was he to do? He was all alone and afraid, and soon his torch began to go out. Oh. Going to be scared in the dark all on his own. I wonder how you would feel. Up in space, someone else was in trouble too. His engine had broken down, and steering the ship towards a flicker of light, I wonder what that flicker of light could have been, he landed on the moon with a bump. Both the boy and the Martian could hear noises in the dark, and both feared the worst. But as their eyes got used to the dark, they both realised they'd met someone else in trouble. They weren't alone anymore. I think they must be feeling a bit happier now that they've found somebody else that's in need. The boy showed the Martian his empty petrol tank, and the Martian showed the boy his broken engine. Together they thought of ways to fix their machines and how to get them both back home. I wonder where the Martian lives. We know the little boy lives on planet Earth. The boy jumped down to Earth to get the things they would need. Right down into the sea. Plop, and swam towards home. By the time he got there, the boy was tired out, so he sat in his favourite chair just to catch his breath. I wonder what's going to happen when he says sit down. His favourite programme was just starting, and he settled down to watch. Oh no! Poor Martian's left up on the moon on his own. Suddenly, he remembered what he should be doing and rushed off to the cupboard to get what he needed. Oh, he looks like he's panicking there. He ran outside and shouted, but there was no reply. He couldn't be heard. The boy climbed to the higher ground, called again and waited. He needs the Martian to hear him now, doesn't he? This time a rope was lowered. There it is. The boy began to climb and the Martian began to pull, and soon the boy was back on the moon. The boy fixed up the Martian's engine with the right spanner, and the Martian filled the boy's petrol tank. They said goodbye and thanked each other for their help. They wondered if they would ever meet again. Been very helpful, haven't they, towards each other? After a long night, they were both finally off the moon. The boy went one way and the Martian went the other, both on their way back home. And now we can see the boy has returned home, and there's a walkie-talkie there. He's got one, and then the other one's going, hello, hello. I think he's trying to get in touch with the Martian. So the end. That was our story. Now in part 2 we're going to think about a letter that we could write to the Martian. Whilst you're away, I want you to think about what we could include in a letter to the Martian. We're going to pretend that it was Pips that met the Martian. And Pips would like to send a letter to the Martian to say hello and see how he's doing back on his planet. Okay, so have a little think and we will see you again in part 2. Bye for now.